Ethan, where you at? We got a chat, my wife hollered as she stepped through the front door. I could tell she wasn't by herself, there were extra footsteps echoing in the hall. She knew I hadn't gone anywhere since my beat-up old car was parked right there in the driveway, plain as day. I'm up here. Gimme a sec, I'll head down, I yelled back, zipping up the suitcase I'd been stuffing on the bed. What's got you home so early? She asked, strolling into the bedroom. And why were you messing with a suitcase? Oh, yeah, got a call from some potential client out of nowhere. It's a big deal, kinda urgent, so I ditched work to throw some clothes together. Flight's in a couple hours. Meant to tell you, but it all happened so fast, I gotta jump on this before it slips away. Alright, fair enough. Still, you got a few minutes. I really need to talk to you about something. Sure, I can spare a little time, I said, grabbing my suitcase and trailing her downstairs. We wandered into the kitchen and plopped down at the table. Sure enough, there was another fella there, and I knew him right off the bat, James Carter, one of the slick lawyers from her firm. I snagged the coffee I'd brewed maybe 30 minutes back and settled in. Look, Ethan, I ain't gonna sugarcoat this, she started. Dave and me, we've fallen for each other. I don't feel the same about you anymore, and I'm done. I want a divorce. Papers are filed, and here's your copy. Alright, well, if that's how it is, I ain't gonna stand in your way. Done's done. Mind if I take a peek at these papers? Might as well get it sorted quick. This trip could keep me tied up for months, so maybe Dave can call a notary over and we'll wrap it up before I head out. Man, Ethan, you're handling this like a champ, she said, sounding surprised. I figured you'd blow up at me. Sorry for blindsiding you, but it's better to rip the band-aid off and move on. Yeah, well, from what you're saying, fighting it'd be like punching a brick wall. Let's just see what we're dealing with here. I took a few minutes to skim through how they'd split up our stuff. Okay, one thing sticking out to me, spousal support. You've got a solid gig yourself. What's with asking for $2,000 a month? We looked it up and crunched the numbers, she explained. You pull in about 4 times what I make, so the court's formula spits out that amount. Fair point, but here's the thing, my job's about to shake up big time, and I don't want to drag this back to court later. How about we tweak it to a percentage instead? Say, 25% of my income. That'd actually give you more based on my last check, and it'll shift with my pay automatically. Whoa, that's mighty generous, and smart too, she said. Alright, Dave'll fix that up, and we'll all scribble our initials on it. Hey, you've given me a solid decade, I told her. No sense in being a jerk about it. Now, this bit about you wanting 60% of the business, you don't even know how it runs. I can't lose the reins on that. How about 49% instead? I'm the one keeping it alive, after all. To balance it, let's bump your cut of the investments from 60% to 80%. I can always hustle to rebuild what I'm losing. Fine, that'll do, as long as I keep the house, she replied. I'm attached to this place. I'm good with that. Truth is, I'll be working so much I won't even miss the beach house, I'm not big on sand anyway. Tell you what, let's rewrite this part so I sign over my chunk of all the properties we've got now. I'll probably just grab a condo somewhere down the line, less hassle to maintain. Ethan, I'm honestly shocked at how big-hearted you're being, she said, shaking her head. Well, like I told you, I'll be too swamped to enjoy those properties anyway, I replied. Plus, I can rake in enough cash to build my stash back up. Now, let's talk child support. I think you're skimping a bit here, and there's nothing about bumping it up if my paycheck grows. I want to make damn sure my kids are set, you know. How about we tweak it so 25% of everything I earn in the States goes to them? That'll cover my job money plus any side cash from investments here. Oh, and since you're keeping them most of the time, it makes sense they'd be on your insurance. That's fair enough, she nodded. I'll get Ryan to hop on the Wi-Fi, print the updated stuff, and we can sign it. Notary'll be here soon, and Ryan can run it down to file after. Thanks, Ethan, she added. You're taking this like a grown-up. Means a lot. The printer spit out the new papers, the notary showed up, and we put our names on the dotted lines. I grabbed my suitcase and hightailed it to the airport. Fast forward a month, I'm snoozing on a beach in Cabo when my phone blares me awake. Didn't even need to glance at the screen to know who was on the line. Hey there, Sophia. What's this call about? Didn't I give you enough already? You son of a bitch, she screamed. I don't know how you pulled this off, but you're not getting away with it. Lucky me, I'd hit speaker instead of pressing it to my ear, saved my eardrum. What's that supposed to mean, sweetheart? I asked, playing dumb. Don't act like you don't know. There's a damn moving truck parked out front, and some deputy sheriffs waving eviction papers in my face. Huh, sounds like the folks who own the place need you and your new man to clear out so they can settle in. You signed the house over to me, she snapped. What the hell do you mean, new owners? I'm the owner. Yeah, not exactly, I said, grinning to myself. What I handed over was all the property we owned when we signed those divorce papers. Thing is, we hadn't actually owned squat for 3 months before that day. Your name wasn't on any deeds, so I didn't even need your okay to sell it all. Even the beach house? She asked, voice cracking. Told you I'm not much for sand between my toes. You bastard, she yelled. Where are you at, anyway? We need to meet up, I've gotta sign papers to claim my chunk of the company. Oh, yeah, about that. You didn't, she gasped. Half a year back, I was just running the place for the new owners, pulling a salary while they got the hang of it. Quit that gig a week before we had our little chat. So, no paycheck, no spousal support, she shouted. But the kids, what about them? You said you'd take care of the kids. Nah, I said I'd take care of my kids. Since I'm not the bio dad to either of them, I've got zero interest in footing that bill. Maybe have a word with Michael and Daniel about stepping up for their own. DNA's a hell of a thing, huh? Well, at least I've got the savings and invest, she cut off mid-sentence when I couldn't hold back a chuckle. Let me guess, she groaned, catching on. Gone, baby, gone, I said. I funneled all that into an offshore account the second I sold the business. Good luck tracking it down. We'll see what a judge has to say about this, she shot back, laughing bitterly. Good luck trying to pin anything on me, I said with a shrug. I handed you exactly what those papers promised, signed, sealed, and notarized. You got 49% of every business I owned when we put pen to paper. You got all the property we had at that moment. You're getting your slice of my income from back then, and the child support's locked in at 25% of what I make in the good OL, USA. If you didn't bother to dig into whether I still had a company, a house, or a dime to my name, that's on you, not me. I never once claimed there was anything left. You're walking away with exactly what you've earned. What the hell's that supposed to mean? She fired back. I stood by you, played the loyal wife for a whole decade. I deserve more than a big fat zero. Really? Loyal? I snorted. You've been stepping out on me for at least half that time. The second I was out the door, you shacked up with your latest fling. You're a cheater, plain and simple, and you don't deserve a damn thing. Oh, and by the way, I slapped a lawsuit on your precious company. Turns out they've got this handy little rule in the employee handbook, no hanky-panky between coworkers. Those steamy conference room videos I sent over should get you and your boy toy canned real quick. Plus, the ethics board sniffing around him now too. Word is, he got tangled up with a client in more ways than one while he was her lawyer. Might even lose his license over it. Tough break, means he can't just hop to another firm or hang his own shingle once they kick him to the curb. Shit, I gotta call Ryan, she blurted. No point, I said coolly. He's not picking up. What's that mean? She demanded, voice shaky. From what I hear, he ran into some bad luck, got roughed up pretty good in a mugging. Probably riding in an ambulance to Mercy General as we speak. Maybe time to start shopping for a new boyfriend. Oh my God, she wailed. Nah, not quite, I chuckled. Though the gorgeous Latina stretched out beside me says that a lot too, usually when we're tangled up with no clothes on. The line went dead soon after that. My stunning companion stirred from her nap, flashing me a grin, and suggested we duck back into the cabana where we could shed a few layers and relax. She'd earned this getaway, she'd been my eyes and ears, keeping tabs on Sophia's every move. Earlier that day, she'd tipped me off that the divorce papers were filed and they were planning to spring the trap that night. She quit the law firm on the spot, packed her bags, and we linked up at the airport to jet off to Cabo together. 2 days from now, we're headed to Costa Rica, big expat scene down there, and you can live like royalty on next to nothing. And that's where my tale wraps up for now. Been one hell of a ride, pulling the rug out from under Sophia and starting fresh. I'm sipping a cold one on the beach, got a beautiful woman by my side, and not a care in the world. Life's funny like that, sometimes you just gotta play the hand you're dealt and come out on top.